Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. In today's episode, we don't do this very often, but today we're going to actually review and talk about a U.S. upcoming military vehicle. Now, this vehicle has attracted the attention of various military analysts. It has attracted my attention as to the why. So what you're looking at. No, wait, before I state what you're looking at, in one word in the comment section, in one word, if you look at this without ever seeing it before, just type in one word what you reasonably believe what this vehicle to be. Have you done it yet? Are you doing it? I'm guessing, but I could be wrong. You're going to type in the word tank. It is not a tank. The military, the U.S. Army, is calling this a what are they calling it? A mobile gun protected platform or something like that. Anyway, it's not a tank. It's not a light tank. It's that other thing. Now, the U.S. military could build up to 500 of these systems. 500 of these systems. Now, the U.S. has the M1A1, the M1A2, main battle tank. So why does it need this M10 Booker, which most people, upon seeing it, would classify it as a tank or a light tank? Look, it weighs about 40 tons, and it's armed with a 105 millimeter low pressure cannon. It is designed to be rapidly transported to augment U.S. infantry division. So the concept behind this armored vehicle is essentially one battalion set would be attached to each U.S. infantry division. And what I mean by infantry division, an infantry division that does not possess armored vehicles. They are mostly deployed via foot or on MRAPs or Oshkosh type vehicles. And this M10 Booker is designed to accompany U.S. infantry divisions and provide direct firepower in case these infantry divisions run up against fortified positions or enemy light armored fighting vehicles. Now the question is, at least I have, is doesn't the U.S. currently possess systems that could defeat fortified positions and other enemy fighting vehicles? And the short answer is yes. So then why does the U.S. need to build from the ground up a new, very expensive weapon system called the M10 Booker, the weapon system you see in front of you? So again, about 40 tons. If you look at the frontal aspect of the turret, reasonably well armored. Now the problem with this system is outside the frontal aspect of the turret, the frontal aspect of the hull, the side aspect of the hull is not very well armored at all. A RPG-7 or RPG-29 hitting the front hull of this vehicle would mission kill it. To my understanding, the motor, the engine of this vehicle sets in the front. So would it kill the crew? Probably not, but it would mission kill the M10 Booker. One RPG shot. Now, a side aspect shot would probably penetrate the hull, would quite possibly kill the driver, would, again, just an RPG-7, would penetrate into the below the turret ring, possibly injuring or killing the crew of the turret. Now, why is the U.S. Army designing and building these systems, the M10 Booker? I don't know. Because the U.S. military, the U.S. Army, currently has systems that could perform the exact same mission as an M10 Booker. In place of the Booker, you could use a Bradley, which has a 25 millimeter gun and a tow missile system. So if a U.S. infantry division runs into a situation in which it's facing a fortified element, a fortified enemy battalion company that's dug in, well, you're probably going to reduce that target with HIMARS, multiple launch rocket systems. You're going to use 120 millimeter mortars. You're going to use Apache gunships. So there's systems in place right now that could attack the targets that this M10 Booker is being designed for. And no, it's not designed to engage enemy heavy armored vehicles. It's not designed to go up against a T-90 or a Chinese Type 96. It's not designed for that. It's purposely built to go after fortified positions and light armored infantry fighting vehicles. But again, the U.S. right now has systems. You could very easily simply attach a battalion of Bradleys to a U.S. infantry division, and I reasonably believe that those Bradleys could perform the same mission as this M10 Booker. Yeah, this has a 105 millimeter low pressure gun, but the Bradley could fire tow missiles at that same target. It could use its 25 millimeter cannon. And look, that 25 millimeter cannon may look a lot smaller than this 105 millimeter gun, but I can tell you that 25 millimeter cannon on that Bradley is a very, very effective weapon system, and used in tandem with the tow missiles. I think you're completing the same mission. I don't think the M10 Booker with that 105 millimeter low pressure gun is going to offer significantly more firepower than an existing weapon system such as the Bradley. You could also use a Striker equipped with javelins. You could create a modified variant of the Striker that has a remote operated, maybe 30 millimeter cannon with a javelin missile system on it, without, again, purpose designing from the ground up this very expensive platform. Now, you could say, okay, well, the Booker has more armor. A little bit more armor, not a lot. If a Striker is hit by an RPG, it's going to be mission killed. If a Booker is hit by an RPG-7, it's going to be mission killed, depending on where it's hit, other than the frontal. Yes, the Booker taking a shot to the frontal aspect of the turret may survive an RPG and will continue the fight. But if it's hit at the hull, the lower hull here, it's not. That RPG is going to probably penetrate the engine compartment and do a mobility kill. Again, the same with the Striker. Striker hits a side aspect shot on a Striker with an RPG-7 is probably, unless it has the slate armor on it, and I envision these being at some point being very much up armored to the point where they're probably pushing in weight, in total weight, the same weight as a early M1 Abrams, an early M1 Abrams. So again, why is the United States building this system? It's got some advanced targeting systems on it, next generation thermal imaging optics. Looks like it has the same TIS, thermal imaging sight, as what's on an Abrams right now. But again, is it going to provide significantly more firepower and protection than what the U.S. military has already in a Bradley? Would it have been better to simply, if you were wanting a little bit more firepower and maybe some more armor, maybe the Swedish CV-90 with the either the 30 millimeter or the 40 millimeter cannon? But the real game changer is missile technology. You know, having a reasonably armed vehicle is not difficult to find. The United States has a host of those systems. And again, you can simply place a remote operating system that can fire a Javelin with maybe a thermal barrack warhead or a Griffin and achieve the same mobile firepower as what you have with the M10 Booker. But again, not only that, if a U.S. combat element approaches a target and they believe it is a very large enemy formation, company, battalion-sized element that is very well dug in, current U.S. doctrine is simply to use reconnaissance elements to observe that fortified position and then use long-range fires, use HIMARS, use U.S. air power. And if you eliminate the air power equation, again, you're going to use the HIMARS. You're going to use precision-guided 155 millimeter artillery to reduce that position. So the concept of pulling these Bookers up and forward deploying these Bookers, which are only resistant to heavy machine gun fire, and having these vehicles confronting anti-tank guided weapons teams, this Booker is not going to stop a frontal aspect shot from a Russian Kornet. It's not. It's going to kill the crew probably. So why build it? It's almost like the U.S. was looking at doctrine, was looking at warfare from the 1980s and saying, okay, well, we need this mobile protected platform to protect our infantry. And it just doesn't make any sense. None. Not in terms of systems that are already available. Again, Stryker, Bradley, some foreign allied system that the U.S. Because again, they're just buying one battalion set for each U.S. infantry division. It's not like they're building a huge amounts of these. I mean, they're going to equip both, I would assume, reserve brigade sets, divisions, and active duty divisions, and also be part of the 101st and 82nd Airborne in air assault. I'm just saying that I believe the United States could have found an existing weapon system that could basically do what the Booker is doing without spending all this money on creating this Booker, which, quite frankly, doesn't have the same capabilities as even a Bradley, because a Bradley is going to have much more standoff capability with those tow missiles, as would a as would a striker armed with either a Griffin or an extended range javelin. Same capability. Probably a little less armor than a striker. An up-armored Bradley is going to have more armor than a baseline Booker. An up-armored Bradley will have more protection, especially in the frontal hull, than a Booker. And it will have a longer, further engagement range with those tows, out to 4,000 meters. So, let's hear it in the comment section. Is this a wise purchase? Is this something that the U.S. needs to design, test, build, and provide and upkeep? Or could the U.S. have used existing weapon systems that exist right now to do what this weapon system is meant to do? Let's hear it in the comment section. Have a good day.